Welcome back, my horde. Okay, so first, you may be wondering, wait, I thought this was supposed to be the long podcast with all the people in it. It's not long, it's just lots of people. It's like still 30 minutes. Well, what happened there is Tammy's actually. Oh, fuck, I just bit my tongue. Tammy's been doing the thumbnail for it, and it's been acting really weird. Her program. It's supposed to be when she removes the color from it, the little chibi people, she can put them onto the thumbnail thing, and if it actually does have another background for some reason, she usually is allowed to pick a color. In this case, let's go with white because it's the background, and it gets rid of all the white background and just cuts out a little image of the person. Well, apparently it's not doing that. It wants to cut out the entire thing. So Tammy has to figure out how to fix that, and then she has to add the names again. So it's going to be another probably about an hour of work, maybe a little bit more. And Tammy doesn't want to do it today because she's already worked on it for a bit today.
Yeah.
So
I'm slightly agitated with it, but I'm hoping it'll take less than an hour. But
so because of that, it's going to be not done today. I'm hoping that it gets done in the next couple days. I don't think we're doing anything for the next couple days, primarily.
I don't think so.
So I think it can be done by Thursday and Friday. So we'll see what happens then. The next thing I was going to bring up is, at least for me, I finally did my first 12-hour stream. I've been actually trying to do one for a while, but every single time I go to accomplish it, either I'm really too tired to actually do it, or halfway through the stream, I just get bored because, no one's really interacting with me because I don't have that many people watching. I think it's 52. I think it's 51, to be fair. I think it classifies me as one, and then as a follower on Twitch.
Possibly. I don't know.
And then on top of that, it so it doesn't count. It counts me as it with my when I look at the page, but at the exact same time, it doesn't count me when it's figuring out how many people I have. So it's a really weird thing. So I think I have 51 people that follow me, but on average, about 4 that watch me, including myself. So yeah, I don't get a lot of traffic. Occasionally, I'll get the random 1 or 2 people that pop up, but not a lot of traffic overall. But anyway, so I did a 12-hour stream just recently. It was Pathfinder for about 5.5 hours, and then after that, Grounded for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 hours 40 minutes, but
Yeah, and then Daisy for, was it 2.5? I said.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was 2.5 because we started roughly around 10, 11, and then we went, or I guess 10:30ish, and we went to about 1:30ish. So yeah, there was that. Hello, Nico. You want to be in this one too? I don't know why you want to be in this one. It's because we're not in the office. Oh, sorry. Ugh. Here. We're in the kitchen right now. Tammy wanted to start doing some stuff around the house, and I was like, oh, well, can we do a podcast real fast? She's like, yep, yeah, sure. So yes, you can be on the thumbnail, okay, Nico? Jeez. All the other cats don't have to be on the thumbnail. Just you, huh? Okay. So I think the one with Chris's party will actually be podcast 100, which is actually kind of crazy. And then I guess it's podcast 104.
Yes.
That'll be our 2-year.
Getting there.
Yeah. So that'll be kind of crazy. What else? Tammy wanted to bring up. Tammy bought herself markers that are actually meant to be like tattoo markers. I guess they are semi-permanent. I guess is the kind of terminology. They're
They're safe for skin.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the non-toxic. That's the word. Non-toxic, safe for skin. markers that are similar to permanent markers, but the idea is permanent markers wash off because after a few days, your skin on that layer just dies. That's how it kind of washes off. Whereas it's the same kind with this. After a few days, it kind of just disappears.
Yeah. It says like higher traffic areas such as your hands because you're washing them or putting sanitize them or using them, they'll wash off quicker, but there's a possibility that they can last up to 2 weeks.
Tammy's been wanting to get these just for giggles purposes for a long time. So, yeah, we kind of finally let her buy, or not let her buy those. I guess we finally gave up on looking for them in town and let her buy them online. Is what happened. And yes, that is the correct word. Is letting her buy them online, because we don't buy a lot of stuff online as a personal thing. We have started to the last year or two. Really?
Yeah, because there's certain things we can't find in town that we can only find online, like
my drink mix.
Yeah,
definitely was my drink mix. That was so cheap too. It was like $50 or something like that for my drink mix.
I think it was less, but
it's like a flat of 12 of them, which they usually, when we bought them at a store, used to be like $5 to $10.
Yeah.
So like, and it was like 12 of them, because I thought it was $50 for one of them or something like that. I was like, oh, that's really steep. I don't want to buy that, Tam. It's like, that's way too much. And Tam's like, yeah, that is way too much. And then we were looking at it again, and I'm like, maybe there's like a cheaper one or something. Like, there has to, wait a second. Am I reading this right, Tam? So she's like, what? I'm like, does that say 12 for that price? She's like, yes. I'm like, we're going to get that, right? She's like, yes. Because that's like $4 a thing.
Yeah, it was like $3.90 or $4 or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. So, like, we've done stuff like that before, or we bought a bunch of stuff for the computer online because it was just simpler than trying to find any of it in town.
Yeah, like the your mic stand, like the mic arm, the foldable mic arm. I don't think I've ever come across it in any of the stores.
I know where we could have found it, but
besides the one, but
I know that we could have found it, but the problem was that it was during like the prime COVID kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if that store was even close to being essential enough that it would actually be open, which is the store downtown that sells guitars and drums and all the musical stuff, because that is what they would be good for.
Yeah.
Is musical. You attach it to, whatever, and you have your mic on top of it. So that would make sense for that.
Yeah, and that arm mic stand arm kit thing, I'm pretty sure came with a mic.
Pretty sure it did. I don't think it did, because we actually, or did it come with? No. I think we had to buy the other two mics for it, but that they were like same company, so it was cheaper. Because but you could be right. It could have been those mics. It's just, I remember we had to buy both of them.
Yeah, we bought two so that you could have one and I could have one, but my setup doesn't allow for the arm stand to use.
No. That's why we switched it, so you have the little leg one that we bought.
The tripod one.
Yeah. That one definitely came with that mic. And I didn't realize we could interchange them until we tried that one time when we were recording Werewolves. And like, I know that next year I want to buy a better sound card. Or sound, I guess it's classified as a sound card, but it's not a sound card. Because sound cards in my head are devices you put into a computer.
Yeah, but it considers itself a sound card because it requires power from the computer to do.
Yeah, but it's a sound bar, maybe? I don't know. It's just basically a device that sits on my desk that I can push buttons on, and it will put whatever audio is going into it, change it, and put it out differently. And then it also has, like, different presets like laughter and stuff like that, which I like. But my problem is the fact that some of the presets I never use because they're copywritten or weird or whatever.
Yeah.
So what I'm wanting to do is finding one that has a couple presets, but also a couple abilities to push a button and it would change my voice drastically different. Or if I were to push it, I can set up what goes in there.
Yeah.
So, for example, like I would just want to boo. Mostly, I just want like the ability to have it so that when Jay tells a really awful pun, I can just hit the button and it goes boo. That's all. That's all I want. And then, of course, the laughter or whatever, when occasionally, and then the ability to change my voice into like other things. Like I like the idea of doing the robot, like the old sound card had, or like doing like a megaphone or echo or
yeah, some sort of like it's being said through some sort of like radio.
yeah, yeah, stuff like that. If I can find stuff that can do stuff like that, that's what I want to do. And the one I had really did seem like it could do it. It had like a couple presets that said certain things like that, but when you hit it and talk, nothing happens.
Yeah.
So either it wasn't programmed in, or I was missing something that I could not figure out.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. And it's not like truthfully, like I missed like something where I had to download something on my computer because everything's internally housed in that device. It just needs to be attached to the computer, usually by a audio cable. It goes into where my mic goes.
Yeah.
This entire device just goes into where my mic goes.
Yeah, it's a little device that you put in between your computer and your mic.
Yeah. So yeah. Tammy's also thinking about getting a tattoo. She wants to get a tattoo on probably her left wrist, the inside of her left wrist. It's going to be a Norse rune, about an inch by an inch.
Yeah, 1.5 inches or so tall.
But yeah, it's going to be an inch by an inch though, like an inch tall and wide, give or take. But it's supposed to be a rune of protection. Tammy was just looking up some runes one day at work when she was bored and saw something that she liked, and she's always had a thing for Norse religion to begin with. So,
my only problem was the day that I decided I was gonna draw that on myself, I didn't have my markers at the time, so I just did it with a Sharpie marker, and then it like bled into all the tiny little cracks of my wrist, and I'm like, oh, that looks terrible.
Yeah, I think that's what the markers that she got was supposed to prevent. It's supposed to prevent bleeding.
Yeah, crisp lines.
Yeah. So yeah, she's going to go do that, and then yeah, she sent it off to a bunch of her friends and family because she was a little unsure how her mom's going to react to it. So she, instead of telling just her mom, she told the entire family at once. So that way, in theory, if her mom said anything negative, then the others could kind of like say things positive. It kind of worked. Mostly because the fact that her mom actually then didn't say anything in that chat about it negatively. She said to Tammy, like, are you really serious about this? And Tammy's like, yeah, kind of. And she's like, oh, okay. But yeah, her one cousin was like, do it!
Yeah, and my coworker, when I told her, she's like, oh my god, I'm so excited for you. I'm like, you're not even getting it. She's like, I don't care.
And then my family, because we told my family too, my sisters were both like, cool, they do it. And my mom was like, just make sure you don't go to any shady places. Basically, because my mom's gotten one tattoo that she got from a dude who came to the house. And everything was fine with the tattoo. but she knows a bunch of friends who got similar tattoos from different people who just came to your house or you went to their house. Because, as weird as that sounds, it is a typical thing for tattoo artists to do because they're still,
They don't have a physical
yeah,
shop
yeah, they're still trying
in a
to get a
location.
physical location, so they're just doing it out of their house. We have a buddy, our old roommate. He had gotten 3 tattoos from the same guy because he liked the guy. He would just go downstairs. The guy would fucking smoke a joint and tattoo him. And then, after a bunch of the tattoo was done, he, leave and then come back and get more done or another tattoo or whatever. But the concept behind it is that it was just in the guy's basement. And the guy's like, yeah, I moved from like one part, he was more eastern Canada. He moved to western Canada, where he is now. He goes for, I think he said something like for a girl or something like that. And then it's like, well, that didn't pan out. And, I'm still here because, it's costly to move again. And he's like, yeah, I didn't want to get another shop. And, the guy didn't like the idea of working for a shop in town because if he worked for a shop in town, he would have to take any clientele that walked through the door.
Yeah.
Where if and then he would have to split the money with that shop.
Yeah. They take their cut. He gets
He
his
gets
portion.
paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Some places, like some people, that's another reason is it's not their main job. It's their kind of like side hustle. Where they have an actual job, but they, in their majority of their free time, will tattoo.
Yeah. There's a lot of things like beauty salons. Girls will do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like girls that will dye and clean, do stuff with your style, your hair, like hairdressers. That's what for.
Yeah, hairdressers.
They will do it on their side because it's just some extra cash here and there, but they don't want to do it full time because,
And it is easier to do something like that in the client's home instead of having it in your own home, because then if you need something like a towel or if they need like a certain whatever, then you can have that, and it's easier to carry it in like a carry bag.
Well, also not just that, but it's like, hey, go have a shower.
Yeah.
A lot easier at your own home than, like the client's house, basically, instead of like your house.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, if Tammy was doing someone's hair, she would go to, what Tammy's trying to say, if I'm understanding correctly, is she's saying that some people would go, like, Tammy was doing someone's hair, she would go to that person's house with a bunch of her stuff, deal with the person's hair, and then she'd be like, okay, well, you have to go wash your hair now. Basically, send them off to go wash in their own shower.
Yeah, which gives you time to do other things, like if you're setting up, then you have time to set out your tools that you'll need and have your reference picture if that's what they're wanting, and like, or getting certain things prepped, or if it's after getting the haircut and stuff like that and styled or whatever, then it gives you time to sweep and clean.
Also, if you can hearing bells in the background, and if you ever hear weird noises, right now, Koshka, our youngest, is playing with a toy. So, she's just going
She's
crazy
trying to
with it.
decapitate something that doesn't have a head.
Yeah. Oh, you did hurt your foot. Yeah, she hurt her foot. Okay. We'll have to just keep an eye on that. Frick's sakes. She was up on my shoulders, hanging out with me. And then she decided she was going to jump off me, which we've been trying to teach her not to do. If she wants down, she just indicates she wants down, we put her down. I was going to put her down because I felt her kind of indicate she wanted to be put down, but then she just bailed. And when she bailed, she fell down and landed wrong. And she hurt her back paw. Nico, I don't understand you. I'm trying to talk about Koshka right now, and I'm going to talk about you in a second. But anyway, then she ran away from me, like, limping. Because, she, for some reason, Koshka has this mindset that if she gets hurt or whatever like that, she should run away from us rather than run to us. So, I don't know what happened when she was a kitten, but yeah. So she was just playing there for a few seconds, and I just watched her lift up that foot again and then shake it weirdly. So I think she may have just. I'm hoping that all she did was she landed wrong and hurt her beans. So that way they just nothing's broken or sprained. It's just she hurt her beans.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, kittens, little toe beans.
Toe beans, am I right?
So I'm hoping that's all it is. She's hurt toe beans and she just feels awkward to jump on it a certain way.
Possibly.
That way in the next little while it'll just, be fine and she won't have any problems. But then Nico, she literally came up to me, meowed. I picked her up, put her on my lap, and then she immediately jumped down and then looked back at me and meowed. I'm like, fuck do you want, cat, then? I know what she wants. It's just, she can go F herself. She wants me back in my office, in my spot, so that way she can convince Koshka to go into her spot. That way she can go and cuddle with Koshka. But because I'm out here, Koshka's not out here, and it's all my fault. Nico is like this on a whenever she goes into heat. Whenever Nico goes into heat, Nico will be mad if I'm not in the two spots that I'm actually supposed to be.
And it's only him. I can be wherever.
So the idea is the fact that if I'm in the bedroom where I'm going to go to bed, she's like, okay, I can just crawl up in my bed, her bed, and she's like, I'm just gonna crawl up in my little bed, go sleep, no big deal. And then when we're in the office, she's like, I'm just gonna crawl over here with Koshka and just go to sleep, no big deal. But whenever I'm anywhere else, she's like, oh my god, what am I doing with my life? Fix this.
No, she doesn't mind when you're in the bathroom.
Yeah, she does if I stay in there for too long.
Yeah.
But that's just because then she'll get a drink while I'm in there. But then once I'm, if I'm still in there and she's done drinking, she'll get mad at me. Well, you're supposed to be somewhere else again. But it's just a long periods of time. Like, we've been, talking for a bit here. Been out here for a little bit longer. And now is when she's starting to cause the problems again. It's just, like I said, it's always after a few minutes anyway. Like 10, 15 minutes.
Something like that, yeah.
Of me being out here, it's usually when she's like, oh my god, fix this problem. So. Anything else? We were supposed to stream early today, me and Tammy, so I could do another longer stream. But then she started working on those things, and that took a lot longer, and then now we're working on this, and that's taking a bit longer, and then, yeah. So, we'll see what happens. So I wanted to stream a little bit before 7. It's 5 right now. And this has to go out as soon as I'm done recording this. But yeah, so I was going to try to do it where we streamed a little bit earlier. I was thinking like 4. And me and Tammy would play a game, and then after me and Tammy were done a game, we would jump on with Chris for Diablo 2, and then once we were done Diablo 2/11 came around, because Tammy has to go to bed, me and Brian were going to play DayZ again. And then I think that's going to be a typical thing. What's going to happen is at night, I'm going to be playing that with him. I just have to talk to him about that, because on some of the days, I don't know if he wants to play it every night. If he does, that's, one thing. But, Nico, I love you. I understand. Anyway, what I was going to say is the fact that, on Thursdays, I don't stream a game at night. So, because I don't stream a game at night, he only wants to play a small amount of time. It gets really hard to, play. Because I don't want to record for only an hour and a half. I like getting 2-3 hours in. And I think he could do 2, but he can't do 3. That's where the top part comes in. So, I have to talk to him about that. Figure out if he's good with that. Because I guess I could always just do the 2.5 hours. It's not too bad. It's just, yeah. I like going a bit longer. But the more content I can get out there, the better. I know that I've lost a couple of subscribers on YouTube. I used to be at 65, 66. Now I'm at 62. But I know that we're supposed to, me and Tammy, I have recorded already a bunch of it, but I have to actually edit it. And I just, every time I think about editing it, I just look at the time and realize that I don't have that much time between something else I'm going to be doing or whatever. So I have to figure out what I'm going to be doing with that. Yeah. Because I know that earlier today I was like, or no, it was not today. It was, what day? Sunday, I think it was? Sunday. I was going to edit, and then we were going to do something else, and then I was going to do something else. And I literally looked at her. I was like, okay, so we have to edit, but I have to do this first. She's like, yeah. And then we did something else first, and then I looked back at her, and I'm like, I don't want to edit now. She's like, yeah, I don't want to do any of the stuff I need to do either. I'm like, oh, man. I just can't remember what it was that we had to do. But it was just, we had to do something right before, and it just burnt it, like, just, blah, that's out. Nico was looking at Koshka and yelling at Koshka to, get her ready to go to bed. And, I grabbed Nico and she freaked out. But that's okay. But anyway, we're going to end this here. I really do think that we will be fine, and this will be... We'll have the other one out by next week. Promise. Promises. Okay. Yes, Sims. Yes, that's what you like to do. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.